Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Friday, the 2nd of August 2024. In today's Millwall news, we had a heartbreaking publication this morning about the news of Nino Adom-Malaki's serious injury sustained in the game in Spain against Real Murcia. And this is quite unusual for the club. They don't normally put out a piece like this. I don't know if this is a new thing or why they're doing this, but so this is from millwfc.co.uk. It's on their official website. Injury update: Nino Adom-Malaki. Millwall Football Club can confirm Nino Adom-Malaki will undergo surgery on a serious knee injury sustained against Real Murcia. The 20-year-old was substituted 10 minutes into the second half at the Pinatar Arena, landing awkwardly on his right knee after going shoulder to shoulder with an opposition player. No specific timescale is being placed upon his return to action at this stage. Following surgery, Adom-Malaki will begin a rehabilitation program with the club's medical team to enable him to reach full fitness as soon as possible. Lions head of medical, Gary Haymans, said Nino will undergo surgery on Thursday the 8th of August. Following that, he will commence a period of rehabilitation to recover from the surgery, which we will monitor for a number of months. Once we're happy with his progress, Nino will enter the mid-stage of his recovery as we look to build up the muscles again and prepare him to resume some light running. The final stage is transitioning Nino back into football and reintroducing football movements. Everybody at Mill sends their best wishes to Nino and looks forward to seeing him back on the pitch. Like I said, this is kind of weird. They don't normally go so public. I mean, maybe the player himself has agreed to make this public. It's just like this was his time. This was his moment. He looked like he was on the edge of getting into the first team. And what's that going to do to him now, having a knee injury? It sounds quite serious, maybe an ACL or an MCL. I don't know what the difference is, but that's quite a serious injury, I believe. And we'll see, like, this could be a career-ending injury for such a young player because he hasn't established himself as a professional footballer. Well, he kind of has. He's definitely a League 2 player. He's proved himself in League 2 for Sutton, although they did get relegated. So he is that decent, but I mean, this isn't good for him. And I think ideally for Millwall as well, because there was a space opening up in terms of obviously we got Joe Bryan, who's can't really defend that well, and Murray Wallace, who is probably is past his prime, and he's maybe an ideal person to be replaced. So that's what you want as a young player coming through. You want to have a target to aim for, and that would be Murray Wallace's spot as a backup left back. Now, maybe the reason why they're being so public with it is because obviously there was serious interest in getting Nino out on loan this season. So maybe there was so much interest that they put this story out in public to let all of these clubs that are trying to sign him on loan, let's say, yeah, he's injured, like he's not going anywhere. So maybe that's why it's so public. But this came out today. Just heartbreaking stuff. Gutting for the lad. Now moving on to this. The South London Press, obviously they publish on a Friday. They do quite big Millwall interviews on a Friday, and today it is the turn of Macaulay Langstaff. So londonnewsonline.co.uk. In depth with new Millwall striker Macaulay Langstaff, people questioning if I can step up in levels only serves as motivational fuel. Macaulay Langstaff is taking a step into uncharted waters this season, but it is a scenario that he has faced in each of his last 3 campaigns and excelled in all of them. No wonder Millwall's new striker is approaching the start of the Championship with feelings of excitement and anticipation. The forward was contemplating a career away from football before he scored 32 goals in 44 matches for National League North side Gateshead in the 21-22 campaign. His net-busting exploits saw Notts County pay £50,000 to secure his services, but could he do it in the National League? Well, 42 goals in 48 matches, promotion and a raft of personal accolades, including the National League Player of the Season, was an emphatic and impressive yes. How would he handle League Two? Well, Golden Boot winner with a tally of 28 goals, 29 in total, and named in the divisional team of the season. So stick that up your jumper. Langstaff, 27, has taken his promotions through the football pyramid in his stride. Now comes the jump to England's second tier with the Lions, who signed him on July the 8th on a 3-year contract for an undisclosed fee. If the County Durham-born striker is feeling pressure, then it isn't apparent when we sit down at Millwall's Calmont Road training ground on Monday. So this was this interview is from Monday. Oh, it's a big step up. I know that. Why am I doing it like that? Langstaff told the South London Press. It's one that I'm looking forward to. It's not going to be easy. But when you talk... I'm trying to do a Newcastle North East accent. How do they sound again? Why, aye man, I'm from the North East, isn't it? No, that's Welsh. But when you talk about my goals going up... I've forgotten how to do a North East accent. I need a trigger word. I need a word in. I do Yorkshire accent. But when you talk about my goals in the last 3 seasons, each time it was a step up a level. Each year there were more question marks. Could I do it at the next level? I broke the scoring record in the National League. Then people said, he's done it for Notts County in non-league. Can he do it in the Football League? Well, I won the Golden Boot. That's probably my biggest motivation, trying to prove people wrong. Obviously, there are going to be questions, and I understand them, because if I was a fan or anyone on the outside, I'd be asking the same. Some of these people asking that aren't even critics or criticising me. I believe goal scoring is against yourself. If you can score goals at any level, then you can carry it through the levels, because ultimately it's you against your own movement. It's you against your own instincts, and it's you against your own finishing. Yeah, the defenders can get better and stronger, and you'll probably get fewer chances, but it's still about being in the right place at the right time. I'm still trying to get into those same areas I did in National League North. Maybe not as frequently, but it's still me up against myself rather than directly up against someone. If I'm a centre-half, then maybe I'll come up against a forward who's a lot sharper and better. I still believe that you can carry goals up through the leagues. I haven't changed anything from National League North to be in League 2. Obviously, there are little tweaks to your game. It becomes more tactical, and you've got to take in the other side of it and what the manager wants from you. In terms of my goal scoring, it's the same sort of movements and finishes. My goals haven't changed over the years. People would have said at National League North level, can he do it in National League or League 2? I look at it and that I've done it and more. And why can't I do that again? Langstaff, who sang Oasis's Don't Look Back in Anger as his initiation song on Mill's training camp in Alicante, finds it hard to pick out a favourite season in what has been a rapid rise up the domestic game. Well, they were all different, but brilliant in different ways. My first real breakthrough was at Gateshead, and it was incredible. I finished as top scorer, and we got promoted with a team that was expected to do nothing, and we were all best friends living up in Newcastle. I love that one. I've got to say, the National League season is the best. Like, League 2 was good individually, but as a team, we underachieved massively to finish 14th. When you can reach your heights individually as a team as well, that elevates the season above any other. To score 42 goals in the National League season, like, how many times has that happened? It's not about me lacking optimism, but I can't see that happening again in my career at the top level, because 40 goals in one season is something ridiculous. It's probably a one-off, so breaking the records and getting promoted at Wembley in the playoff final, that's the one place you want to do it. And on penalties as well, like individually and collectively, that has to be the standout. Langstaff, who had a 3-year spell at his boyhood club Middlesbrough before being released at 13, was dubbed the non-league Haaland. But it is a player that starred for Manchester City's arch-rivals United, which helped inspire the Lions' new recruits. Well, it's funny because the strikers I love are probably a little bit different to myself, said Langstaff. You look at some of the out-and-out goal scorers over the years, I wouldn't say they're my favourites. Luis Suarez was one of my favourites. He was an incredible goal scorer, but it was his all-round game, how much he wanted to win. I loved watching him. I love Rooney. He was the main reason I started playing football. When he played at Euro 2004, it was probably my first memory of football. After that, I wanted to be a footballer because he made me fall in love with the game. Being called the non-league Haaland was only because of my goals. Like, in terms of players, we are the polar opposites. He's 6'4" and good in the air, rapid and strong, and just incredible. I'm pretty much about 5'9.5", so don't have any physical attributes to go and beat 6 foot defenders in the air. It was a nice bit of publicity, and I enjoyed it though. Notts County announced in June that Langstaff was their new club captain, but any plans they had in place for him to spearhead a fresh assault on reaching League One was ended when Millwall made their move. Oh, it's a weird one because every transfer window that came around, I'd scored goals in the prior 6 months, so I always knew there was a possibility of interest or talks, said Langstaff when asked if he had expected to leave. Not that I was unhappy or not, but with the goals comes interest. I ended up just sort of getting used to the speculation, but when it first happens, you think, oh, it is nice, and it gives you a little bit of an ego boost, but in the end, it was just another club you get linked to with because I was doing something right and I ignored it. There must have been 3 transfer windows before I eventually left in the 4th one. Like, it came to the summer and Notts offered me the captaincy, and there had been no conversations with Millwall or any clubs. There have been no bids, and I said to Notts County, look, there's going to be interest, but if I'm going to be at the football club in 100%, I want to be captain. A club the size of Notts County, the oldest professional club in the league, who wouldn't want to be? It's a privilege. I've done it on a couple of occasions before. I've had phone calls before saying a club is interested in you, but you still palm it off. Like, when you hear it's a club the size of Millwall in the Championship, then immediately you take more note. It was difficult leaving. You never want to leave a club that you've had a good connection with, but sometimes you want to join another club if it makes sense. I was happy there, and I would have been happy staying there, but when Millwall came in, I wanted to join Millwall. Langstaff is represented by Scott Barron. Hello, who played 107 matches for the Lions. Well, Scott is local and he still lives in the area. He gave me so much information about the club and advice, said Langstaff. Like, it helps when you have that shoulder to lean on and ask questions. I had someone very close to me who was a big part of this club, and it made sure I didn't come in blind. Langstaff's football CV has plenty of employment in the non-league game. Mill have had success with frontmen that have been handed a shot in the professional game too. Current head coach Neil Harris is the club's all-time record goal scorer of 138 goals, while Steve Morrison 92 goals in 3rd and Lee Gregory 77 goals in his 8th. Or it does give you a little bit of it's happened before, then I can go and do that, said Langstaff. You look at the names on there, like Neil Harris, Steve Morrison, and Lee Gregory, and they're all top names who've come up from non-league. It helps when Neil Harris is a manager that there's that common ground. You know he's been there and he's done it and he's got all that experience. We've got similarities, like in terms of the way he's played and the way I play, and that always helps. I can go into his office at any point and ask him, what did you do in this situation, Gaffer? And he's been in my shoes. And I said in an interview previously that if I can be half the striker he was for Millwall, then I would have done my job because he was incredible, and you can see that the fans love him. Langstaff has won back-to-back Golden Boots and scored 103 goals in the last 3 seasons. It inevitably leads to a question about what number he has in mind for his maiden Millwall campaign. Oh, I get asked this every single year. I've never once set targets, said Langstaff. I just don't believe in them because my biggest fear is setting a target, let's say 15 goals. And if I reach by that by January, you can always reassess and set new targets. But there's a worry. I get there and I take my foot off the pedal. I don't think I ever would, because you never get bored of goal scoring. That the more you score, the more you want to score. What worries me about getting complacent if I reach the target. The other side of it, if I'm nowhere near my targets, then I would get to a point where I'm losing my confidence. I'd rather set mini targets. Like, it would be nice to have 5 or 6 goals by the end of the month. Then at the end of the season, I'll look back at my goal total and decide if I'm happy or not. Not before the season started. Well, he hasn't scored yet. He hasn't played that much, though. So, will he play tomorrow? I don't know. Will he take the penalties? Because as well as this long interview, which is very interesting, from the South London Press, we also have another story where they ask him if he's going to be the penalty taker. Well, I guess if he's on the pitch, why not? So again, like I said, this is from South London Press, londonnewsonline.co.uk. Macaulay Langstaff, I'd love to be Millwall's penalty taker this season, but it's what is best for the team. Macaulay Langstaff has admitted he would eagerly accept the role of Millwall's penalty taker this season. A 27-year-old striker joined the lines for a six-figure fee from Notts County at the start of this month. Langstaff has won successive Golden Boots, firstly with 42 goals in the National League and then 28 in League Two. He was on spot kick duties for the Magpies. Millwall head coach Nino Adom-Malaki is happy to entrust the process of selecting a penalty taker to his playing squad, only stepping in if an agreement cannot be reached. Or the first year at Notts County when I scored 42 goals, I didn't take a single penalty, Langstaff told the South London Press. We had Ruben Rodriguez who took them and his record was incredible. I'm one of those strikers where it's about what's best for the team. I know strikers have got to be selfish, but at that point, Ruben was our best penalty taker, our best chance of scoring a penalty, which in turn improves our chances of winning a game, was him taking it. So it was. I wasn't going to say I'm taking it because it's best for me. The second year I took them and I scored 4, and that was the first season when I probably started taking them regularly. If you ask me right now, do I want to take the penalties, then 100% I would. I want to take penalties and add to my goal tally in whatever way I can. We've not had that conversation. You play a lot of games in pre-season, and it's difficult because you play mixed teams at times, and I've asked a couple of lads about who took them last season, and I know Kevin Nisbet did, and so did Zion Fleming. They are top players, and ones are back to score a penalty because they are full of quality. And I'm sure it will get discussed before the start of the season. Langstaff does not practice spot kicks in training, he said. I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way. Sometimes you can practice too much and then you can't score in the area you like to go to. It can get in your head and that makes you change it on the pitch. You can't replicate the pressure of a game. Ultimately, it's a gift from 12 yards and a finish for a forward. I'd rather get up there and feel confident. I'll know where I'm going to put my next one, even now talking to you. I don't have to change my mind when I get to the spot. I get what some players do practice, but I also think in training that you'll strike a penalty, you wouldn't take it in a proper match. You look to put one in the top corner because it looks good. Indeed, so yeah, it seems not to be a selfish player. Wanting what's best for the team. I would say in terms of, I wouldn't worry about it because we're probably going to get 1, maybe 2 penalties all season. Because it seems to be WrestleMania 25 every time Jake Cooper goes up for a set piece, and that's perfectly acceptable. It's like the Royal Rumble, and we get completely fucking shit on every time, and we don't get any penalties for that. So there you go. Also, as well as the South London Press has an information about Alfie Massey. They've interviewed him as well. So this is from, like I said, londonnewsonline.co.uk. In depth with Mill's Alfie Massey, determination to play midfield saw him leave Arsenal. Alfie Massey is convinced that his footballing future is as a central midfielder, so much so that it led to his departure from Arsenal. The 18-year-old, who grew up in Welling, joined West Ham at the age of 6 before the Gunners paid compensation to acquire him 3 years later, but Massey's commitment to playing in the middle of the park was key in his release as a 14-year-old, then signing for Millwall. I was always a midfielder at Arsenal up until under-13s. Massey, who was playing Sunday League football as a kid for Bexley-based Phoenix Lions when he was spotted by the Hammers, told the South London Press. They started playing me further back at centre-half, and I didn't think I was very good there. I went to a meeting and they said, we're not going to give you another 2 years at centre midfield. We'd like you more at the back. And I said, I'm not going to be a centre back. And they said, we're not going to give you one then. And I said, okay, no worries. It was a big thing to do, but I trusted my abilities in midfield, and I knew I could get further in midfield than I could get at centre back. It was a case of pulling me out. I was still young at the time, and there was still time. Massey has featured for Millwall in pre-season. This says the proudest moment of his fledgling career was playing in the second half against Gillingham earlier this month. His target for the upcoming campaign is to make his senior debut. Massey was part of the Lions under-18 side which dumped Chelsea out of the FA Youth Cup last season before losing to Leeds in the semi-final in front of more than 10,000 supporters at Ellender Road. It's a surreal experience, he said. The Millwall fans made it a massive experience. It made you feel what it's like to play in front of the first team and what it's like in front of a full crowd. Like going to Ellen Road was big, but it was good to play against a hostile away crowd. We did well. At the time, like the emotion was disappointment. We were so close. We only lost 4-3. Like we had a chance in the game. A couple of days after, you felt proud of being a Millwall team that had reached the semi-final of the FA Youth Cup. Massey's move to the Lions made travelling for training a whole lot easier after a more testing commute for him and his dad Luke to West Ham or Arsenal. Monday, Wednesday and Friday we would train and we would play on Sunday, said Massey. We would get the Woolwich ferry over straight after school and I wouldn't get back until about 8 p.m. Both of my parents have been a big part of my journey. My dad didn't play at a high level, he was Sunday League and I'm living his dream. Massey was in the same Arsenal age group as Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis Skelly, but he's quick to bring up the Millwall Academy's pedigree. The coaches from when I joined to the first team, they're all drilled with the same goal to get you to the next level, said Massey, who was putting MC duties for the new signings initiation songs during last week's Spanish training camp. In some ways, it's better than the big clubs. It was a bit nerve-wracking, but you're grateful the gaffer's giving you the opportunity. You have been waiting for your whole life, so you have to make sure you grab it with both hands and make the most of it. So how has Massey found working with the Lions head coach Neil Harris? He knows when to give you exposure and when to sit you out and again the experience you need, said Massey. I've spoken with him off the pitch. After training sessions, he gives me good encouragement. It gives me a good balance as well, and I need to improve on to get to that next level of where Billy and Sav are. Massey names checks George Honeyman, George Saville and Danny McNamara as players who have been good sounding boards. Danny's a local boy, came through the academy, said Massey. He knows how it feels to get that opportunity around the first team. I'll go to him for advice, and my goal this season is to make my debut. It was a really good experience to be around the boys 24/7 on the trip to Spain to see what they're like away from the football. It was a really good eye-opener. Massey is pleased with his progression. I think I'm accelerating quickly, he said, especially being the first team in this pre-season. You can feel the tempo straight away. It moulds that into you. It's becoming more natural now, and I feel as though I'm getting more experience as I'm with the first team. Massey's family are all Liverpool fans. He picks Steven Gerrard as an idol, but adds he tries to base his game off of Arsenal's Declan Rice. His promotion to the senior fold was not as abrupt as his last-minute notice that he was hosting the players' songs in Alicante. I didn't know until about 3 seconds before I went up and Nutch told me, said Massey. I got thrown into it and it wasn't too bad. I sung Bruno Mars's Just the Way You Are. We had an interview before and I picked myself up to be quite good, but I don't think I was, to be honest. Jafet Taganga was good, he did One Kiss by Dua Lipa. I saw him last year a little bit in training with the first team. He's a good mentor for me. So there you go. So that kind of puts to interesting to read that, and so now we know he's not Andy Massey's kid. Andy Massey played for Millwall a number of years ago. He hasn't mentioned that. You think that would be something that would come up, and he was at West Ham before going to Arsenal and then coming to Millwall. So interesting stuff. Now, moving on to this. Another shocking thing for Millwall to post on their website. Why? This is from millfc.co.uk. Millwall partner with NordVPN. Yes, indeed. If you watch a lot of YouTube, that will probably bring a wry smile to your face. NordVPN sponsor a lot of YouTubers, most notably PewDiePie. Now why are they doing this? Well, I'll tell you after we read through all the guff. Millwall Football Club is pleased to confirm a new partnership with NordVPN. NordVPN are the global market leaders in providing cybersecurity through their VPN products and digital services, helping to provide online users with a safe and secure digital experience. NordVPN protects the online identity of the user, ensuring peace of mind and security while using any unsecured networks, such as public Wi-Fi connections in hotels, airports and coffee shops. Other features allow secure access to the personal information or work files, encryption of internet connections, and browsing history privacy. NordVPN also allows users to secure up to 10 different devices and use these during international travel. As part of the new partnership, NordVPN are offering Lions fans up to 70% off and 1 month extra for free. Luke Wilson, Chief Commercial Officer at the Den, said, we're proud to have partnered with NordVPN, the market leader in cyber security, and I'm pleased that our fans can now benefit from significant discounts on their products. Like, with so much of our lives being lived online, the safety and security their products offer should provide our fans with peace of mind while navigating a digital world. Bob Brinklow, Country Manager UK at NordVPN, added, NordVPN is delighted to partner with Millwall Football Club to help educate supporters on the importance of staying safe online. 2 cyber security and privacy tools help to protect internet users from a technical perspective. Human error remains an essential factor in cybersecurity, and no one is fully protected from online scams. Tactics used by cyber criminals are becoming more sophisticated, and even cyber-savvy users are often exposed. NordVPN now offers cyber insurance benefits with its ultimate plan, so users can secure their internet connection and enjoy the additional protection against online shopping, fraud, and online scams. Find out more by going on to that. I think that may be an affiliate link. I don't know about that. How do you get the discount then? Did it say that? Oh, you click. Oh, it's there. So that's like an affiliate link. You click on that to get your 70% off and your extra month free. Right? Why is this funny in a way? As you know, when Millwall games at Saturday at 3 p.m. We cannot watch them in the UK. It's against the law. It's a blackout law brought in to protect football attendances in person, in the real world rather than the digital world. But what they do is, obviously, if you're outside of the country, they let you watch Saturday 3 p.m. kickoffs because the law doesn't apply in other countries, and we live in a globalized, hegemonic system. Now, what some people have found, that you can go onto a VPN and you can use the VPN location services to make it seem as though your computer is not in jolly old Blighty, but is in fact in a different country. So when you log on to Millwall TV, your Millwall TV thinks that your computer is not in the UK, is in another country, and will allow you to watch Saturday 3 p.m. games. You have to pay, of course. You do have to pay, but as we mentioned, that is as they mentioned here, there's a lot of nasty stuff online. There's a lot of scumbags online, and obviously there are free links around, but I wouldn't try and click on them because you will your computer will become diseased and infected with all kinds of scam stuff, which is only going to get worse and more complicated as we go into the AI future that our technological overlords are creating for us. So yeah, it's kind of a nudge, wink, wink. Obviously, Millwall don't care if you do this. It seems they obviously publish generally before games. They publish a list of like countries that you can watch Millwall games if you're in. So that seems that they're doing that to tell you, hey, if you set your VP to one of these countries, you can watch the game on Millwall TV, but you have to pay us, obviously, give us the money. So the fact that they've partnered up with NordVPN seems to suggest that they are aware of the situation that exists, and they generally probably they don't care whether you pay them, what was it, 35 quid for a ticket to a game, or you sit at home and pay £10 to watch a game on Millwall TV using a VPN to do so. They just would rather get as much money as they can, make the pie bigger, and here we go. I do wonder though, now that we've got them with the NordVPN thing, whether they will do a deal with Raid Shadow Legends. If you get that, congratulations, you spend too much time on the internet. Now moving on to preview of the game. What are we going to see tomorrow? Remember, as we're talking about Millwall TV, you can watch this game live on Millwall TV for the sum of £5. Because it's a friendly, it doesn't matter where you are, you can watch it. So yeah, Millwall versus Southampton. Millwall take on Southampton and pre-season friendly at the Den on Saturday afternoon. Kick-off at 1 p.m. Following the programme consisting of multiple matches in front of supporters in Spain and behind closed doors, the Lions make their final arrangements for the 24-25 season against Premier League new boys this weekend. Neil Harris has a number of players unavailable for the visit of Saints, with those at his disposal set to fight for their place in the starting 11 for the Sky Bet Championship opener against Watford next week. Tickets are now on sale, can be purchased at this link. They're about £10 for an adult ticket, I believe. If you cannot make it, then stream a match on Millwall TV with match passes on sale at a cost of £5. The Lions store will be open from 9 a.m. on Saturday, with the Captain's Bar and Harry's Bar open from 10:30 a.m. The SE16 bus bar will be closed, however. Obviously, if you haven't tried to buy tickets or had a look at tickets, it's only the West Stand, the Kitchener Stand, and the Cobbler Lane Stand, the South Stand, that are open. That's it. And guess the away stand as well. Now, interesting that they've mentioned this. Obviously, I've been banging on about this. Please note that from Monday the 29th of July, the road between Mercury Way and Sandford Walk has been closed to motor vehicles and will remain closed until further notice. This project aims to improve road safety and encourage more walking and cycling for residents. Yeah, but it's, like I said, it's closed, but it's not closed. They're not closing the road. They're putting up a camera. They're putting up a sign saying that the road's closed. As soon as you drive through it, they're going to ching you for 80 quid, 120 quid, whatever it is. Construction works have been taking place this week at the Coldblow Lane Mercury Way Junction that were expected to be finished by Friday. Yeah, they started on Monday. They were supposed to be finished by Friday. Because why? Because they're targeting Millwall fans. This is what they're doing. Due to the enforcement of restrictions within the club's alcohol licensing, supporters cannot bring their own alcoholic beverages inside the stadium gates. Please note that stewards will be strictly monitoring this at all entry points on Saturday. Yeah, this seems to be a thing. They keep mentioning this. I guess with all this outside drinking, they've got now the outside bars. People have decided, well, if I bring my own drink, if I bring a few lagers on my own, rather than paying, was it £6 a pint or whatever it is. So yeah, you can't do that. And there you go. So that's it. Now, moving on to this. Matchday mascot. Mill's matchday mascot for Saturday's pre-season friendly with Southampton is Jude Lewis Ranwell. Jude is a football fanatic who plays in golf for his local club and is a keen cricketer who loves being outdoors. His favourite Mill players are George Honeyman, Danny McNamara and George Saville, whilst Jude will also be keeping a keen eye on new signing Lucas Jensen. We hope you have a fantastic day, Jude. And you can see him there, he's already got the new kit. Fantastic stuff. Now, talking about, so obviously this is a kind of weird story that popped up from the Daily Mail. Premier League manager finds love with former topless model after splitting from his wife. Yes, a bit of drama, a bit of tea, a bit of gossip, as they say nowadays. Lucy Pinder, 40, remember her? Is dating 38-year-old Southampton manager Russell Martin. The former glamour model of Lads magazine fame in the 2000s is a Saints fan. Russell broke up with his wife Jasmine, the mother of his 3 children, last year. Oh dear. A Premier League manager has found love they call it now, with Formula topless model Lucy Pinder. Pinder, 40, was at the peak of her fame. in the mid-2000s or during the era of lads mags such as Nuts and Loaded. She's also featured on Soccer AM, albeit fully clothed. Pinder is a lifelong Southampton supporter, which is just as well because her new man is Saints boss Russell Martin. Martin, 38, and Pinder went public with their relationship very recently. She was spotted on his arm earlier this week when he received an honorary degree from the University of Brighton. On Thursday evening, Pinder shared a picture of herself and Martin together in Brighton alongside a smiling face emoji. Martin's relationship with Pinder follows the breakdown of his marriage to Jasmine, with whom he shares 3 children. Former Norwich defender Martin and ex-Jasmine, who he previously hailed as a supermum, split up last year. Martin, the manager of Southampton since June last year. His first season with the Saints ended with victory over Leeds in the Championship playoff final. Martin, who previously had spells in charge of MK Dons and Swansea, will make his Premier League debut as a manager on August 17th when the Saints go marching in up to Newcastle. Southampton have 3 more friendlies to play first against Millwall, Lazio and Getafe. They won 3 of their first 4 pre-season games, beating Eastleigh, Bordeaux and Montpellier before losing to Oxford. So there you go. Isn't that interesting? Obviously, we don't know what's gone on there. Why did he leave his wife? Or did he leave his wife, or did she leave him? Obviously, being a football manager, you're around the world, around the country a lot. Probably not spending much time at home. That's not for me to say. But he's now with a former topless model. So there you go. And a reminder as well of this from the Southern Daily Echo. Do you remember this Neil Harris's comeback game when we beat Southampton unexpectedly? He didn't shake Sarkic's hand, which is a shame because he won't be able to do it anymore because the lad passed away. So again, in terms of seems to be, is it just me? This guy seems a bit of a bit of a bounder, a bit of a cad. I'm sure you can think of a few stronger words. Obviously, I'm not going to read all this because I think I did read it at the time, but I'm going to scroll down and you can pause it and have a read for yourself if you haven't seen this before. So yeah, there you go. Isn't very interesting character, Russell Martin? Very interesting character. I'm sure he'll get a warm welcome tomorrow at the Den. Fantastic stuff. Now, if you have just joined this channel, if you don't watch regularly, you may have missed out on this. I mentioned this about a month ago, and the club have decided to publish it now. I don't know what's going on. So this lad, he was at Sheffield United under 21s. They let him go. They released him. And he signed for Millwall. He signed the papers. There's a picture, I think, on his Instagram of him signing the contract. And he hasn't played for the under-21s yet. And he hasn't featured in any information. I don't know if he's injured, but I think what it might be is compensation, which is kind of remarkable. This is going to be another Bosman thing in the pipework. So let's read this first. This is from Millwall's official website. So Ben Drake joins Mill's under-21s. Ben Drake has signed for Mill under-21s. The centre-back, a product of Sheffield United's academy, now joins Kevin Nugent's side after rising through the ranks at Bramall Lane. Drake, who can play in the middle of the defence and at left-back, will hope to feature at Champion Hill on Saturday afternoon as the Lions under-21s take on Dulwich Hamlet in their final pre-season friendly. Tickets, details for the 3 PM kickoff can be found on the link below, which I'm going to show in a minute. What I think this is the compensation, which we know because obviously Glenn Turun announced when they signed Frankie Vid, who had been released by Millwall, that they had to come to agreement with Millwall about compensation. This has got to be another complaint about contractual interference once a contract's been null and void. Like, how can you claim compensation for a young player that you have given a contract to? The contract's run out, and you said to him, "Yeah, we're not going to give you another contract." How are you entitled to any extra money? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how is that legally like the situation with Bosman is that clubs were preventing players from registering because they claim some kind of ownership on them, even though their contracts had run out. And we're seeing the same thing here. It looks like with under 21 players up and down the country, which is why quite a lot of players leave the English FA system, because these payments they're less enforceable between clubs that aren't in the English FA system. And you got to imagine, like, if this has taken a month for this kind of agreement to come to terms, or whether it's gone to tribunal, I don't know. Obviously, those details don't get published, but this is kind of ridiculous. The guy's, has he been training at the club? I haven't seen any pictures of him training. The picture there, you can't see it, but he's got squad number 34. So he's had to sit around for a month, and then he can finally join in. No, it's ridiculous. That game, Dulwich Hamlet versus Millwall under-21s. Millwall under-21s travelled to Dulwich Hamlet for a pre-season friendly on Saturday afternoon, kick-off at 3 p.m. The fixture represents the final matter for Kevin Nugent's side ahead of the 24-25 Professional Development League campaign. Tickets for the match at Champion Hill are on sale at the link below, priced at £10.80 adults, £4.30 concessions, and free for under-13s. New signing Ben Drake will hope to take part in the game, with updates available on Millwall Academy, the Lions' official academy X account, if you are unable to make it. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.